Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We will be doing the summer 22 question paper 3-1. Now in the spreadsheet part. In the start of the task, they will tell you about the spreadsheet, what is it about. So here it is about the safety equipment required for a hot air balloon. Now all the files will be mentioned in bold, and they will also mention that which might be the reference file and which might be the file that you will have to edit. So this tables file is not to be will be used but not be edited. So especially if it is written here, make sure that you do not change anything, no rows, no columns. Then the balloon file in a spreadsheet package, save this as a spreadsheet with this file name balloon underscore with your center number and your candidate number. As I said, if your file is not saved as it is, because this file name will appear in a header in your, or in the footer. That is how they'll check the file name. So if it is not like that, they might not even check the whole part. So be very careful with that. Now whenever you have these files, always open and examine. Examine means, and is mentioned over here. So first, this is the tables file. We're not going to save it as an Excel file, we don't need to. Examine means just go through it and try to understand what is it about. They might have 2-3 reference table in it. As you can see over here, we have the item table, the item number and the equipment item. Then we have one column empty. So that is how I know that this is a separate table, separate reference table. Then we have the balloon health and safety table, in which we have the item number and the balloon name. Okay, now coming back to the other file here. So this is the balloon file. So we have the maybe a title over here, the balloon name, item. So this information is already present in that file. So first thing that you have to do is go to save it as your spreadsheet workbook. So whatever software you are using, we are using MS Excel right now, so it should be saved in that file type. Whenever you are saving your work, you should always have a worked folder within your work area, within your main folder. In your exam, you will be given a folder either on the desktop or in Drive D. It will have all the source files, but always this is you can say a backup plan for this. So make a folder with a work area or worked or whatever name you want. Open this, and then over here we are going to save it as Excel workbook, and then the name. You have to be careful about the capital letters as well. So the name was balloon underscore the center number, the center number, and your candidate number. So it would be a 4-digit number. We're using 00 for the purpose of this video. Now the second part is, now if you can see over here, we have 2 marks for this task. So most probably this name does not carry the mark, but what carries the mark is the header. So 1 point is over here, 1 point left align your name, center number and candidate number, and then right align the automated file name with no file path. This is important, not the file path over here, but I will show you that how to insert a file path if you need. Now go to the view, and in the view you will see the page layout view. In the page layout view, you will, this is basically the layout or the page view, how it would look like when it is printed. So here you will see the header and the footer. So we have in the header left align your full name, this means your first name and your last name, and this should be exactly as the same registered with your when you are registering for the paper. Full name, then your center number, and then your candidate number. and then on the right side you have to have a file name with no file path. So file name is, you can see in the header and footer elements we have file name, because you can see and then there are square brackets. You don't need to, do not change that, that is an automated thing. So whatever your file name is, this will be updated here. If you need to have a file path, you're going to use the file path. So you can see and path and file, and this is the whole path. So because it's a very long path, so it is overlapping. Now in case that they require the file path, so make sure it does not overlap. If it is overlapping, then take your file or your folder in drive D, where it will be directly in D slash and then the folder, because right now my folder is very long, so that is why it's giving me this. And so I'm going to delete the path and only the file name will remain. So this is the file name. Now it has two formulas over here. Now let's focus on the first one. Whenever there is any kind of a lookup formula, which can be either a simple lookup, or it can be VLOOKUP, or it can be HLOOKUP, or even the new syllabus includes XLOOKUP as well. So for now I will show you the lookup, VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. HLOOKUP works the same way as the VLOOKUP, only the orientation is a little bit different for the table array. What you need to understand is the parts of the formula, that the information that you will need to give. Most of the times they tell you the exact information that you require. Now lookup, this is the keyword, that is how I know that this is a lookup formula. Equipment item, so this is the result that we want. I want to know the equipment item using the item number in cell B4. So this is my lookup value. For the value, this exactly says like this over here, and the external file tables for the array. Now let's come back to the folder over here. Now what do I need? This is my item number and this is the equipment item. The equipment item is the part that I require. Now for example, in my balloon file, let's go back to the normal view. I had the item number 7. So when I manually do this, I will go to this table and I will see where is 7, starting from the first one, where is 7, and what is the name of the equipment, oxygen storage equipment. So this is the result that I need here in B5. Okay, so this is what they mentioned in B5. This is the location of your formula, that is from where it is required. Now any formula starts with an equal. You can use the formula bar and you can use lookup and reference over here. Let's first do the simple lookup here. Now it asks you that what type of the lookup formula you need. Let's use this. Now what is the difference over here? In the lookup table, in the lookup formula, you can only use one column for the reference and one column for the result. As we know that this is only 2 columns, so we can apply this over here, but generally you will never see this unless and until your columns are not arranged. What does that mean? I will tell you later. First let's just focus on this one. Now lookup value, it explains the lookup value as well, from a 1 row or a 1 column range or from an array provided for the backward compatibility. Lookup value, this lookup value is a value that lookup searches for in the lookup vector. So what do we need to search? 7. Lookup vector is what? Is the range that contains only 1 row or 1 column. Okay, so 1 row or 1 column. Now this is the column in which you will find your lookup value, which was in the tables table from A3 to A15. Okay, and Then the result vector. The result vector is the column, one row or one column which has my result that I want. So that was, let's go here again, starting from B3 to B13. And you can see this is the result that it is showing. That means that it has found the result that I want. So this is just the lookup formula. This is useful when your columns are anywhere, but you only need to have one formula or the one column for this to work. Now here I will do the VLOOKUP. In the VLOOKUP, it is basically a vertical lookup, or to look up a value from a column in the leftmost column of the table. Now you will see that there are 4 parts of this formula. What's the difference? That we can select multiple columns to find the value from, but we also need to tell it that which column we need the value from. The purpose of this, to use this, or the benefit is that when you have multiple formulas going down to the row or going to the different columns, so you can simply use this and you can copy and paste it. For the purpose of the Cambridge exams, it is recommended to use VLOOKUP because you have there has been only one paper which used the lookup value, and only because the column was not arranged. Otherwise they have always used VLOOKUP. So again, it almost works the same way. Lookup value, what value do you want to find? So I want to find B4, which is 7. Table array. Now table array is a table. Now if you focus on the table, the word table means that it is a collection of rows and columns in which data is retrieved. It can be reference to a range or a range name. Now in this table array, now we have to first focus. First thing, the leftmost column of this table array must have the lookup value. Okay, so starting from this A3 to A15, this is my whole table array. Column index number is the column number in the table array. Now in this table array, when I selected from A3 to B15, what happened? It gives the number, column number 1 to A and column number 2 to B. Column number 1A has the lookup value, which is 7 over here, and I want the value from B column, which is numbered as 2 in my table array. Now I cannot write B over here. I will have to write 2. Okay. It has found the value. Range lookup is, do I need an exact match or do I need an approximate match? Approximate match is required when you have a range of the lookup values. So here I need a exact match. So false, it is mentioned over here. Okay, so both are giving me the correct value. Just going to copy paste this over here. So again, B4 is the lookup value in the tables.csv file, exclamation mark, that means inside this file I have this range A3 to B15. Now focus on this $sign. This means that this is a absolute reference, meaning when I copy this formula anywhere, this will not change. And then I have the COL index number, which means the column number of the table array. So the table array was A and B, so that was column 1 and 2. If I had A, B, C, D, E, F, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I need the value from column F, I would write 6. And then the last, range lookup. So this is our first formula, which is 5 marks. So basically each part of the formula is 5 marks. and generally the VLOOKUP to use is the 1 mark. Then I have the task 17 in B7. B7 is here. Now display the date and the name of the employee who checked the item of the safety equipment using, now here the using the balloon name, item number and the external file. Now we have balloon name and the item number to use and to find that result in the external file tables. Now when you come back over here, you see in the other one, for example, see this part, for example, ye 13th May 2021 by Al Hadi. That means that balloon name beta and equipment number 1 was checked by this person at this time on this date. Equipment number 2, what do we require? Our name of the balloon is ETA and item number is 7. So what is the result that I need? I'm not going to focus on this one now. We're going to hide it. You can hide it, you can, it's up to you. Now ETA is at row 10 for now and equipment number 7. This is the result that I want. This is the result I want in the other file. Now how do we know that we do not have to use HLOOKUP over here? Because the lookup value is still in a single column. It's not in a single row. The lookup value is the balloon name in this case. And it is in a single column. That is why we have to use a vertical lookup. Now, let's work out for example, if I select this as my table array, so that means from D4 up to Q11. So this is my table array. Now when I select this as table array, what happens? This column becomes 1, this becomes 2, this becomes 3, 4 and so on. Now the column that I need my value from is at 7, which will be 8. This would be 6. Like this, and this is what I need. Okay, so column numbers are arranged according to the, they are given according to the table array. You start from D4, this column is now column 1, this is column 2, column 3. Now when we have the formula, the lookup value was the balloon name ETA, which is at I think B3. Okay, B3. It's a good thing to do the paper working before you start writing the formula. The table array we have figured out D4 to Q11. Now the column index number. Now because we are using a formula, it should not have a constant value. Constant value meaning I want the column number 8. So, but for one case it is column number 8. What if I change the safety equipment number to 2 or 3? So the column number will change accordingly. But what is the relation or what is the pattern? You need to recognize the pattern in this case. Safety equipment number 1 is at column 2. Equipment number 2 is at a column 3. So there is one more. So how will you write the formula? That would be B4 plus 1. So that was 7 plus 1, it would give me 8. If the safety equipment is at column is number 3, so 3 plus 1 would give me 4. It's column number 4. We will test this. Okay, whenever you have any formula, always test your result. Now start writing the formula. Equal to In this case, I will tell you how to just start writing yourself. Do not, no need to use this formula help. Lookup value is the balloon name. Remember, lookup value always has to be in the first column of your table array. That was from D4 to this. Table array is what? From D4 to Q13, Q11. Okay, whatever name it adds, do not worry about it. The main thing is that it has added the name of the file. Now the sheet name and the this series, this range, this should be correct one. As you can see, this is the sheet name. That is why it has added the, because we are moving back and forth from the two workbooks. Comma, column index number. Now here I needed item number plus 1. And then comma, exact match, select false, and our result is correct. If I change this to 4, equipment item, first aid kit, let's see. First of all, let's check if our first formula result is fine. I'm going to unhide the rest of the columns. Okay, so number 4 is the first aid kit. Okay, and for balloon ETA, equipment number 4 exists here, 2 Feb 2022 by whatever the name is. So our result is correct. Whenever you change the values, always change back. So you have this. Now we have done both the formulas. There will always be two printouts that at least two printouts that you will need in your Excel file, in your spreadsheet file. One will always be for the formulas. Remember, again, it will always be in the landscape. They will always ask you about the row and column heading to be displayed, and the contents are fully visible. It does not matter if it is on not a single page. It does not matter like that. It comes on 10 pages, it's okay. But the main thing is that it has to be in the landscape. Now go to the formulas, show formula. When you show the formula, make sure you can reduce the these column width to rearrange. Go to print. Okay, select A4 because on our pages sizes are A4. You can change the portrait here, or you can change it in the settings of the layout as well. So landscape here. See, the header is coming. In other papers, you might need to scale down your sheet. You can use fit all rows or fit all columns on one page, or fit the sheet on one page, depending on what you need. Right now we don't need anything, so I'm just going to do the print to PDF. And now remember, in your exam, if it is there any technical problem in the print, always do the print to PDF, and make sure you save your file, your print files, according to what is in your paper. See, this is printout number 2, so name it as, okay, we left one thing here. Let me cancel this. What is the thing that I left? That was the row and column heading. Print row and column heading you will find in the page setup. In the page setup, you have the header footer as well, and in the sheet you have two options that you might need: grid lines and the row and column heading. You can see both here. This is the grid lines and the row and column heading. If they have not asked for the grid lines, do not do that unless asked. Do not do anything extra unless asked. Remember that. So just the row and column headings, and make sure all the formulas, everything is fully visible in the print. And now we have, let's see, print out 2. Okay, there it is. And this is my printout number 2. Then enter into cell B3 beta and then B4 the number 2. Showing print using showing the values. It should fit on a single page. Now they don't mention portrait or landscape, so it's your choice. Both should be fine. Fully visible row and column headings are not displayed. So beta and 2. Beta and 2. I'm going to turn off the show formulas and then you can see the values. Okay, beta 2 equipment item, and again it should be fully visible. You should have proper width. Now let's do the print. Okay, and row and column heading should not be displayed. If you display that, you will lose 1 mark. Sheet, row and column heading, turn them off. Okay, so this is what you need. And then save it as, because that was printout 3. Yeah, this is the printout 3. Okay, so hopefully the formulas are clear to you. Okay, let's do the X lookup as well in this case. Now let's do it for this part. Equal to X lookup. Okay, lookup value, that was the equipment number. Then we have the lookup array. Okay, so lookup array is, it looks like an advanced version of a lookup, comma, return array. If not found, so we don't need to have anything. Now you can see that this is in the square bracket, so it is an optional part, comma, match mode, exact match. We don't need, we need the exact match. By default, even if you don't do it, you will give you an exact match. Comma, search mode, again you don't need to do anything like this. So this is a very advanced formula that you will not need to use. So I'm just going to do the first 3 parts and let's see. It is giving the same result, but as you can see, it is basic things that we used in the simple lookup formula. So again I'm saying, always use the VLOOKUP formula unless and until if you feel that the first column in your table array might not contain your lookup value and it is rearranged in another side, then you will use XLOOKUP formula. Okay.